tier. Let's talk about the games happened on 23rd Sunday. There were quite a few games. I don't know the viewership for those games because there were some crazy football games going on. But let's talk about the NBA games. The first game is the Clippers. Is it me? Is it Clippers always to play early Sunday afternoon games, or also the Knicks? This one was early. The Clippers lost at New York, 102-110. We don't know when Paul George is coming back. But this game, Reggie Jackson went off. He's finally playing like how he should be playing without Paul George. 26 points, 5 assists and a steal, 4 threes. Good efficiency everywhere. But too bad they lost the game. Amir Coffey played just 18 minutes. He was getting 30 plus minutes. I want to hold on to him just for 1 or 2 games. Just to see what the minutes looks like. They other than Marcus Morris Sr. also played 24 because he was in some foul trouble. But the rotation, Clipper rotation, Nicholas Batum played 25. Basically, the story is the starters are not playing well. So the bench guys they all got an extra boost. Even Brandon Boston played 24 minutes. The next game, all the starters could play 30 plus minutes. we just don't know. So, if you got Marcus Morris Sr., sure, you could hold on to him. Or Amir Coffey. I think I want to hold on to him 1 or 2 more games. Zubac played 30 minutes, 14 rebounds, 3 blocks. That's really good. Bad from the free throw line. But a guy you could have if you are looking for those rebounds and efficiencies. And good free throw from a big man. That's also a key thing. 7 for 11 from the free throw line. But Terrence Mann, Luke Kennard, they all got 24 minutes. But how much value do they really have? For the Knicks, RJ played 42 minutes. High minutes for him. I'm not too worried about him. 28 points, 14 rebounds, 6 assists. The counting stat looked really, really good and hit all his free throws this game. But it was the field goal. He took 24 shots. Lately, he has been really good. Randall kind of took a bad seat to him. I don't know what's going on with Randall. But RJ, of course, needs to be picked up if he hasn't already. Let's check out what his stat is. Really bad free throw. I understand that. Yeah, 109, 109th ranked player, but you gotta look at the counting stats. 24 points. You're not gonna get that anywhere. 2.4 threes. That's also really good. 7.6 rebound, 3.4 assists. Those 4 counting stats are pretty good, but again, obviously, no steal, very low steals and blocks, and 46% from the field is okay. It's the 73% from the free throw line that's really hurting his value. Otherwise, that's even just averaging 0.4 steals and 0.4 blocks. He could be like a top 80 player if it wasn't for the bad free throws. Top 70. So if he's out there on the waiver wire, let's go grab him. Of course, you gotta worry about your free throws. Grab him, or you try to trade him. Mitchell Robinson played 60 minutes. He had an injury. That's really bad. He was having a decent game before he left. 8 points and 8 rebounds, so still a hold if you got an IR. And Nerlens Noel, with Mitchell Robinson out, sure, you could pick up Nerlens Noel, but it's going to be a matter of time. Noel gets hurt, and it's going to be a matter of time. Mitchell Robinson comes back, they split the minutes. So let's say Nerlens Noel start next game, play 30 plus minutes, have like 15 points, 10 rebounds, 3 steals and 3 blocks. That's when you try to sell him. Alec Burks played with no Kemba. His minutes is kind of low this game. 29 minutes. He was getting like 39 minutes a game. Still in a block. Still could be a fine hold. Evan Fournier, same thing. Hit 4 threes. Could still be a hold. But, these guys, Kemba is out when Kemba does come back. So, if they're having great games without Kemba, look to sell them. Emmanuel quickly, and not really interested in him. And Nerlens Noel had a decent game. 3 steals and a block is always good. Let's go to the next game. The Boston Celtics destroyed the Wizards 116-87. Good game from Tatum, finally. This is what we want to see more of. 51 points. And made his threes. The Wizards, defensively, they're not great. I think we all know that. And Tatum, even with that yesterday's game, still just the 49th ranked player in the last 2 weeks. Really good efficiency, 9 threes, 64% from the field, made all his free throws, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. Good stuff. If you're struggling, just gotta play the Wizards. Play one of those teams. The Wizards defensively in the paint, they're horrible. They're just horrible. If Montrezl Harrell or Thomas Bryant, these two guys are both horrible. Al Horford, even with the bad Wizards team, he couldn't get any defensive stats. And 8 rebound. Majority of his value coming from his blocks. So it's gonna happen from time to time. But next game he could have 4 blocks. Play against some, I don't know, certain teams, they're just going to give you a bunch of blocks. Robert Williams got 2 here, 2 blocks, 8 points, 8 rebounds, an average game from him. And Jaylen Brown struggled versus a bad Wizards team. Again, Jaylen Brown, if you can get a top 35, 40 player back, it is something I would look into do. Marcus Smart came back after missing some games. 11 points, 6 assists, 4 steals. That's really great. And 2 threes. And all the values coming from the steals and assists. Hit 2 threes, 11 points. And he was a plus 36. So good stuff from Marcus Smart. And with Marcus Smart back, I think we got to think about Dennis Schroeder. We got to drop him. Not really too much to think about. He's a drop. And he could be picked up if guys are missing games. Which has been, Celtics very, sometimes if Robert Williams is out, they would shift Al Horford at the center and then give Dennis Schroeder more minutes. So, pretty much all season, Dennis Schroeder was able to get close to 30 minutes because someone is always hurt. Robert Williams, we know, injury prone. Al Horford, he's going to rest. Jaylen Brown had hammy issues, and Marcus Smart was out. COVID, but for now, I think we gotta move on from Dennis Schroeder. But be ready to pick him up if any of these guys get hurt. For the Washington Wizards, because it was a blowout, so the minutes were lower across the board. KCP played just 22 minutes. He still could be a streamer. Obviously not the best game. And Daniel Gafford, he has to be a drop. Scotty Brooks got to figure out. Actually, Scotty Brooks is no longer the coach. Who's the coach for the Wizards? What's his name? But the Wizards coach got to figure out how to run the center rotation. I don't think giving all 3 guys minutes is a good idea. Is the best idea. They got to figure it out. Maybe just give 2 guys minutes, right? Maybe just don't play Daniel Gafford at all. Play Thomas Bryant. Thomas Bryant got the most minutes here, 22 minutes. But none of those guys have any value at the moment. They all need to be dropped. Kyle Kuzma, 12 points, 2 threes. He was having a great week, a great 2-week stretch with Bradley Beal out. With him back, still a hold, but it was horrible actually, a minus 29. Bradley Beal, 31 minutes, 19 points, 2 steals, 7 assists, 5 rebounds. An okay game for him, considering the Wizards got blown out. And Spencer Dinwiddie, 1 for 12. 5 assists still and 2 blocks is good. But you want to see more out of him, obviously. From a scoring perspective, he's still a hold. As long as he's healthy, he can dish out, 5 assists a game in the last 2 weeks. He's actually the 58th ranked player. Played a couple of games without Bradley Beal. 6.4 assists. That's his best category. Everything else is really not there. 38% from the field, but he's gotta be better than this. Still pretty horrible season-wise if we look at the rankings. He plays really well without Beal, but now who knows? Beal could catch COVID again. He's already done it twice. All right, let's look at the next game. This game, Lakers lost to the Heat. Yeah, every win is a struggle for the Lakers, and this game away at Miami, LeBron going back to his old team. Well, LeBron's got a couple of teams, but 33 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals, really good stuff. And 8 for 11 from the free throw line. So I see that LeBron is struggling from the free throw line a little bit now. In the last 2 weeks, he is shooting 65% from the free throw line on 7.7 attempts. That's almost pump free throw territory. He's not going to be this bad, but it just shows that beginning of the season, his free throw, he was shooting like 78, 79%. So maybe he'll be a low 70s guy the rest of the season. So that's going to hurt his value, obviously. But as long as, to be honest, he played 39 minutes again here. As long as he's healthy, I mean, the counting stat look still very, very solid. AD is going to be back soon. I would really try to sell LeBron high. The sell high window will be closed very, very soon. I don't think LeBron is going to put up this level of counting stat when AD does come back. AD has to carry a larger offensive load. Trevor Ariza, Dwight Howard, they just start but get 10 minutes each. So I don't know what's the point. Maybe just look at how well they play that game and maybe make it decisions. So there is no consistency. It just depends who plays well that day. And like it's just no chemistry because Lakers have tried 1,000 different lineups, and you know the Laker players, they're obviously very different. They could do different stuff, but yeah, like maybe the players need to get a bit more familiar with each other on the court, playing together. Every player played 30 minutes and not really interested. Russell Westbrook, he's been okay lately with his numbers. Okay efficiency, almost had a triple-double here. And Malik Monk, this is what happens. If he sold high on Malik Monk, very good. He just gets 23 minutes this game. And with AD's back, who knows? He could just go back to a 20-minute role player. What was it starting? I think Trevor Ariza really eat into his because he was starting before Ariza came back. But I think it's fine to drop Monk at this point. And Carmelo Anthony, 25 minutes. Sure. And Taylor Horton-Tucker, 22 minutes. Those guys are not really fantasy relevant. And then once AD does come back, the Lakers going to play, 20-man rotations every game. For the Miami Heat, Jimmy Butler, great. 7 for 18. Yeah, that's one thing with Jimmy is that his efficiency, his field goal was a little bit too high. But it's still fine, like top 10 player on the per game basis wise. It's about his health. And the rest of the line looked really good. Triple-double. 5 for 5 from the free throw line, made 1 3, 2 steals and a block. Really good stuff from Jimmy. PJ Tucker was questionable, came in. He's not really fantasy relevant. And Bam, okay. Without Kyle Lowry, he got 5 assists again, a steal and a block. So those defensive stats were pretty good. But let's wait and see if I'm more interested in his assist numbers when Kyle Lowry does come back. Duncan Robinson played 42 minutes, and Max Strus also played 30. They need some snipers. Hit 6 threes. He's been struggling all season. This is a really good game, but if the Miami Heat has got a good schedule, it could stream him. But I think Max Strus is a better option than Duncan Robinson to stream threes at this point, at this season at least. Gabe Vincent continues to start. We could continue to stream him with Kyle Lowry out for some assists and some points and threes. Caleb Martin, with all the guys back and healthy, he's not really fantasy relevant either. Let's go to the next game. This is a great win for the Heat. Apparently, the Bulls, without Zach LaVine, they can't beat anybody. DeRozan, 41 points. Wow. 2 steals. Good efficiency from the free throw line and from the field. A huge game from DeRozan. A good bounce back game. But I would look to sell him if I can get a top 25 player. After games like this, it would be a good time to sell him. Nikola Vucevic, 4 for 19. I don't know what's going on with Vucevic this season, man. He is on the season. He's still great, like ranking-wise, because he's just such a beast, getting all the other stuff. 26 rank on the season, as shooting 43% from the field. That's got to be his career low. That has to be his career low. 73% from the free throw line. Even though he only goes there 1.5 times, his shooting percentage is just, so bad this season. Maybe he's shooting more threes. I'm just checking his stat. He's shooting 5.1 threes. He shot 5.8 threes last year on the Bulls, 6.5 when he was on the Magic. Yeah, just weird stuff. His 3-pointers, his 2-pointers this year is 48%. Last year was 50%, and he's shooting 32% from the three. And overall shooting 43% on the field. Yeah, that's his career low. He shot 45% in his rookie year, so he should be at least a 45. He's a career 49% field goal guy. So I don't know. It's been half of the season he's playing like this, but still provides solid steals, blocks, assists, and rebound. Like the other counting stats are still there. Ayo Downson will play 40 minutes. Not the best game, but just look at his minutes. He's a must roster. When Zach LaVine does come back, he's gonna. I don't know how much minutes, because Caruso is gonna be out for a long time, so maybe they're just gonna ride with him. Kobe White is a must roster guy. In my opinion, 22 points, one three. Maybe not a must roster, but like if you need points and threes, he's a must roster. Total ranking wise, I don't think he's even gonna be top 50. Maybe 80, 90 with Zach LaVine. When Zach LaVine does come back, I still think he's a hold because Caruso is out. He will be getting 30 plus minutes. So just hold on to him, see what happens. One thing I like about him this season is, well, he actually got 0 assists this game, but he's providing some solid steals and blocks. So that's nice. Nice to see. For the Orlando Magic, Franz Wagner, 18 points, a steal and block. Good game from him. Wendell Carter Jr. came back, had 3 blocks, 19 points. 1 for 4 from the free throw line is really bad. But, good to see him back. Mo Bamba played just 6 minutes, had 4 fouls. Okay. So Okiki came in and played 30 minutes. Put up numbers. Okiki give him minutes. He's going to give you rebound and defensive stats. A steal and 2 blocks, good stuff. And I guess he was shutting down, quote unquote, shutting down Vucevic, or I don't know if Vucevic is missing shots. 4 for 19 is just horrible. Cole Anthony, not the best game. Again, 5 assists, a steal and a block is okay. Jalen Suggs, keep it going. He's a must roster player. 15 points, 7 assists, 2 steals and a block. Coming back from his injury, he's playing a lot better than he was before. So he needs to be picked up, and we don't know when Markel Fultz or Jonathan Isaac is coming. If those guys are coming back at all this season, we don't know. Let's look at the next game. Good game for the Portland Trailblazers. Norman Powell, they beat Toronto at home. Away. And Norman Powell will be back soon. So I think if you can get a top 50 or 45 player back for Fernie Simons, because he's been really, really good. He played a few games without CJ, and when Norman Powell comes back, 52nd ranked player in the last 2 weeks. Good stuff. Can score a bunch, get assists, and hit threes. But I think the usage, once Norman Powell comes back, Norman Powell is a huge usage guy. It's going to be. So I don't know. Because without him, it's basically him and CJ really creating all the shots. All the other guys is catch and shoot. Right? They're not doing much stuff. Norman Powell is a guy that could, can take a lot of the create for himself a little bit. So my strategy with the Fernie Simons is, you cannot get a top 45 player back. I would, because once Norman Powell does come back, Simons could have games where he scored 8 points and take like 10 shots or 9 shots. CJ still ramping up, a really good game here. Only took 12 field goals, hit 3 threes, 19 points, 2 steals, 6 assists, 10 rebounds. Good stuff from him. Yusuf Nurkic, a steal and 2 blocks, 11 points, 11 rebounds, 1 for 5 from the free throw line. I don't know what's going on with his free throws, but all the other countings that look very, very solid. The minutes is over 30 minutes, so hopefully he can be a over 30-minute player rest of the way. He's a top 50 player pretty comfortably, unless he starts shooting free throws like this. Robert Covington, sure, also a sell high because at some point Larry Nance is gonna be back, and that's gonna mess around with his minutes. Nance a really good game as well, 19 points, a steal and block, but he's a bit inconsistent. He's a plus 20 this game, but he's a bit little consistent. But it's fine to stream him, because he's gonna, at least before Larry Nance comes back, he's gonna play 30 plus minutes a game on this team. And Damian Lillard over the weekend said that it doesn't make sense for him to come back if they're out of the playoffs. So if you got Damian Lillard, you gotta cheer for the Portland hard, because who knows, he could come back. For the Toronto Raptors, again, all the guys play high minutes. Well, I guess Scottie and Pascal only play 34 minutes. But look at this Raptors defensively, 15 steals and 9 blocks. The system just generates so many defensive stats for all of these guys involved. So that's good. Scottie Bob's really struggled here. I'm pretty high on Scottie. Like 6 rebounds, 6 assists, a steal, and 2 blocks. That's good stuff. 9 points. So if he struggles, I was try to buy low, like throw him like a top 70, 80 player at him. He does have some efficiency issues, especially with his free throws and obviously this game field goal, but he'll be better at this. OG, huge game. I don't really care about the scoring, to be honest. 4 for 15, 1 3. The efficiency was pretty bad, but 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. That's good stuff, From OG. Pascal, what a beast. He's just been so good lately, and he will keep it going. There's nothing stopping him. 8 rebounds, 5 assists, a steal and block, 20 points. My God, 2 for 4 from the free throw line is bad, but he's been unbelievable coming back from an injury. Other than free throws, everything is just. I think if you put any free throws with him, he's top 25 player. I'm just giving a rough estimate here. Let me just see. Go to punt free throws. Let's see where Siakam is. 31st ranked player. Yeah. Without it, we're 54th. So he jumped 23 spots. Basically a top 30 player without the free throws. For whatever reason, he's shooting free throw really, really poorly on the season. 72% on 5.3 attempts. He should be close to an 80% guy. So, but the rest of the stuff is really, really good. Gary Trent finally is back. I'm going to give him some time to ramp up. But he was averaging close to 2 steals. I don't know if that's sustainable, but 1.5 on this team should be easy. I think 1.5 should be easy on this team. Fred VanVleet, another big game. 5 steals and a block. 19 points, 8 assists, and 5 rebounds. Really good game from Fred. But obviously he struggled offensively. Played 42 minutes again. Him and OG, man. These guys, they're playing 40-plus minutes. I do worry. Well, these guys are young. But Siakam is another guy. If he keeps playing 40 minutes, they might have some issues. And like Scottie was playing high minutes, and he was out for a couple games with some minor injuries as well. And Chris Boucher finds a way to play 24 minutes. If he plays 24, he's a must roster. 3 blocks and 11 points, really good stuff. All right, let's go to the next game. The Atlanta Hawks beat the Charlotte Hornets. Hornets have not been good lately, so we'll see if they can pick it up. DeAndre Hunter needs to be a must roster, given the way he's playing. 20 points, 3 steals and a block, and 1 3. Good stuff. Trae Young, well, John Collins, is he gonna get traded? If he gets traded, Okongwu become a must roster. Around the trade deadline. I don't know. I didn't watch the game, but the fact that he took 5 field goals in 30 minutes, maybe disengaged, not interested, and 5 rebounds. If you own John Collins, you want him to get traded to somewhere where he can be a 20-10 guy easily, and maybe get 1.5 blocks as well. Clint Capella finally started, grabbed 8 rebounds, 2 steals, and block, an okay game. He's also ramping up slowly. Kevin Huerter also could be rostered in the short term until Bogdanovic comes back. He did not have the best game, but a steal and a block is always good. Trae Young played great. 30 points, only 4 assists, but 8 threes, that's huge. Trae Young has been under the radar. I didn't talk about him enough, but on the season, he's the 11th ranked player. That's his best season. This is his best season. He was never, although he was getting drafted in the late first and early second, he was never, across 9 categories, he was never first round, ranking-wise. This year, he was doing it. Still averaging 20 points, 3 threes, 9.3 assists. Still just 1 steal, but 90% from the free throw line is huge. Yeah, good stuff from Trey this year. He's also making a lot of threes. That also helps. Really good stuff. So really surprising, to be honest. I never thought he would, in category leagues across 9 categories, he could be a first rounder. Trey Young, Delon Wright had 4 steals in 20 minutes. This is why we want to stream Delon with Trey out. But yeah, with Trey healthy, and he's not really. And Okongwu played just 60 minutes. I think we could move on from him. For the Charlotte Hornets, Cody Martin played 20 in place of Gordon Hayward, had a steal and a block. He's a steal streamer. That's all he is. Miles Bridges cooled off this game, and Terry Rozier also cooled off, 2 for 14, but had 7 assists, 3 steals. If Terry Rozier can do this, right? He's a top 50 player. When he's struggling with his shot, he got 3 steals and 7 assists. But I just don't trust the guy, to be honest. He's been doing it for 2 seasons. Maybe he could do it again this season. On the season where he is the 41st ranked player. I still would get a top 40 player if I can. If I can get a Chris Middleton, Valanciunas, all these guys for Terry Rozier. LaMelo Ball continued to struggle. What's up with him? 19 points, but really bad efficiency. Missed all his threes. Again, he's huge buy low right now. I would, if I can get what's a trade that makes sense? Who's playing really out of his mind right now? Can't think of anybody. But yeah, he's a huge buy low. PJ Washington came in and played 31 minutes, but the minutes inconsistent with him, so we could leave him on the waiver wire. And Kevin Oubre Jr. Also, if you have him, you need to drop him. Coming back, played just average around 23-24 minutes. Although he can get plenty of points, sure, if you need points, you could grab him. But now that his minutes is that low, the upside is really not there. And Gordon Hayward didn't even play this game. He played 22 minutes. All right, let's go to the next game. The Philadelphia Sixers beat the San Antonio Spurs 115-109, and Joel Embiid took 32 field goals. That's got to be his season high. 38 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists. Just unstoppable. I don't know how he played 32 minutes and took 32 shots. His stamina must have gotten better, because he always ran on gas in the second half. Not much to talk about. He's just a monster. Charlie Brown, we have Matisse Thybulle, we have Danny Green both out. So we have Charlie Brown Jr. come in, Furkan Korkmaz, you could stream him for threes if he continues to start, because Seth Curry is also out. Tyrese Maxey, I want to sell high on him. All the wing guys were out. Seth Curry was out, so he got a usage boost. 18 points, 6 assists. If you can get a top 60 player back for him, 100% do it. Otherwise, yeah, I think when all the guys do come back, he's gonna have those games where you just look at it and say, why do I have him? Tobias Harris, 18 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, and a steal, 6 for 6. Not the best game considering everybody's out. I want to see Tobias take like 17, 18 field goals at least. Look for your own shot versus the Spurs. But he took just 13, an average game from him. 11 rebound is nice though. And Andre Drummond coming, played 16 minutes. Didn't really do much, but still, if you pounding points and threes, you could have him on your team, because he provides solid rebounds and some defensive stats always in just 17 minutes. For the San Antonio Spurs, and it was against the Spurs, so they don't really give out a lot of the defensive stats. If you play like team like Rockets, Andre Drummond could get 3 steals and 2 blocks easy in just 70 minutes. For the Spurs, Keldon Johnson, the minutes is high, usage was good. Efficiency was good. Bad from the free throw line, 17 points. Not really interesting in to be honest. Doug McDermott, no. Pirtle, huge game against Joel Embiid, out of all people. 11 for 16, 10 rebounds. He got his. Joel Embiid got his. Had 4 blocks as well. Pirtle has been really good, especially if you pound. With Pirtle, you want to pound. I think you want to pound threes and you want to pound free throws. Obviously, points is also not great. But free throws and threes, I think you got to think about pounding them. Rest of the line looked really good. Derek White struggled with his shot. What else is new? 7 rebound, 9 assists, a steal with 10 points. It's okay, 2 threes. And DeJounte Murray, every single game, man. He could almost book it. He's going to give you 17, 18 points, 10 assists, 8, 9 assists, and 8, 9 rebounds every single game. Bad efficiency, and this year, he's the 11th ranked player, 10th ranked player, while having bad efficiency in both field goal and free throw. The fact that he's doing it is pretty crazy. Pretty good stuff from Murray this season. All right, let's talk about the next game. The Grizzlies lost to the Mavericks. Okay, that just shows Mavericks can still win big games. Grizzlies was hot, but they lost a bunch of guys. Sure, they lost Desmond Bane. They lost. Who else did they lose? Dylan Brooks. So Ja Morant takes 30 field goals a game now. You can almost bet he's going to score 26 points a game. Over 26, 27 points a game every single night. Because he's just going to have unlimited usage. In the meantime, Jaren Jackson Jr. should also get a usage boost. And good to see D'Anthony Melton getting 31. But I would use this opportunity to sell D'Anthony Melton. Because when Desmond Bane comes back, he could just play 20 minutes. And Tyus Jones is also out. The minutes is really not guaranteed on this team. You also have Kyle Anderson out. So when all those guys come back, he's just going to go back to that 20-minute role. The stat looked really pretty. It took 16 field goals. Hit 1 3, 12 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals and a block. He's mainly, a lot of his value coming from the defensive stats. Try to sell him. Do a 2-for-1, see if you can get anybody bites with a top 50 player. Ja Morant, we already talked about him. He's just gonna, it's a default now. He's gonna go off every single game. John Conchar, really good rebounder. He had 6 offensive rebounds in 23 minutes. That's pretty impressive. And had a block. Sure, if all the guys are out, you could stream him for rebounds. Steven Adams come back, also grabbed 11. Just a rebound streamer as well. Jaren Jackson Jr. went 4 for 17 from the field. Really struggled. I could see that because the Mavericks, first of all, you're not going to get a lot of block shots because, Mavericks, Porzingis is on the outside. Really, it's Luka Doncic driving in, and he's so crafty that he's going to draw fouls on you. You're not going to block him all that often. And there's really nobody else going to I guess give you a lot of defensive opportunities, either defense or offense. So he really struggled here, but he'll be better than this. Come on. We know Jaren Jackson Jr. is a beast. Last week, he's been averaging like 4 blocks before this game. He had 0 blocks. But last week he was averaging like 4 blocks, which is really crazy. Hold on tight to him hold him tight. Let's look at the Dallas Mavericks. Couple guys with huge lines. Kristaps Porzingis, 12th ranked player this year. Fouled out in 25 minutes, but man, 6 blocks. Scary stuff. Averaging 1.8 blocks, 20 points, 8 rebounds. Yeah. Shooting only 45%. I mean, Porzingis probably even have room to improve, to be honest with you. 1.5 threes, he could make more than that. And mainly just the health. I mean, if you look at it, he played 31 games. He played 31 games already. So he might, if you draft him and he plays 55 plus games a year, I think that's a win. Because Maxi Kleber has been starting alongside Kristaps Porzingis. And I think they waived Kallenstein. And lately they've been starting Maxi Kleber and Porzingis together. So Maxi Kleber is a guy that interesting guy that we could look at. Maybe have on your roster for the blocks mainly. Dorian Finney-Smith also played really well, 2 steals and a block. This is why we have him. I mean, some nights he's not going to give you anything, but he's been getting 30 plus minutes all season. Can hit some threes, getting some defensive stats, 2 steals and 2 blocks, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 threes. Overall, very good game from him as well. And Luka, what a game. 37 points. His best game. He still shot 9 for 12 from the free throw line though. But I do want to point out that Luka has been getting a lot of defensive stats lately. On the season, he's actually averaging 1.2 steals and 0.5 blocks. If he can keep that up, that would be great for his value. 1.2 steals is really good. Jalen Brunson, an okay game, 7 for 7 from the free throw line. But we know with Luka back, Jalen Brunson is not gonna, there's a cap to his ceiling. He's not gonna have like those 10 assist games. Those days were long gone. All right, let's go to the next game. The Brooklyn Nets, ugly. No defense being played this game. 125-136. Lost to the Timberwolves. And Harden, man, struggled again, 4 for 13. His field goal this year has just been horrible. 30% again, but had 13 assists. His assist is really holding on to his value. Making him like still a top 10 player, because the rest of the line, the field goal, the threes, all those are way down from. I mean, even from last year, I think. 6 turnovers as well. Not the best game. Hopefully he could improve. Kyrie Irving, in the meanwhile, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter where team is in, who else is playing alongside with him. He's gonna get his 30 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and still really good stuff. And they play 4 road games this week, and next week I think Kyrie might just have 1 game. I don't know. That's what's gonna happen with him the rest of the way. I don't think the Brooklyn Nets gonna play him. Technically, they could pay the fine. I saw the news, but they're gonna receive too many backlashes. I think they're gonna be in some hot water. I don't know. They'll get a lot of bad press. People are gonna talk about them. The news, the media, they're all gonna talk about how you basically pay a fine so that Kyrie Irving could play, even though he's breaking all the protocols in New York City. So maybe in the playoffs, but they're still gonna receive some backlash. I don't know if there's something they want to do. If they do it, what's gonna happen? How the public is gonna receive it? Day'Ron Sharpe, 9 rebounds. Not really fantasy relevant, because the minutes is just not that high. Kessler Edwards, minutes is being high. Not really doing much. And Patty Mills had 5 threes. That's really good. 21 points. Here we could continue to have him until Joe Harris. We don't know when he's coming back. My God, Joe's been out all season. LaMarcus Aldridge played 17. This is why not a must roster, because the minutes, right? If he for a while he was getting 30 minutes a night pretty consistently. Now he gets 20. If he plays well, he gets 25. If he plays bad, he plays 17. And I don't understand. Like, they got Karl Anthony Towns on the other side, and you making Aldridge chase him around on the perimeter. That, like, he's gonna struggle. For the Timberwolves, Cat struggled shooting the ball, but 22 points, 2 steals, 2 blocks, still good, top 5 player in my opinion. Rest of the way, if I have to pick, like I'd take him before LeBron. I'd take him before Joel Embiid. Per game basis wise, sure, Joel Embiid is better, but although Joel Embiid played 35 minutes while Cat played 39, so all those guys, all the first rounders, quote unquote very injury prone, they all played. Well, Jimmy Butler only played 29. Jimmy was missed a lot of games, but Joel Embiid has played a fair 35 games. Is fine. Harden only played 39, right? Jaden McDaniels started in place of, because Patrick Beverley was out. So I thought Malik Beasley gonna get the start, but that's not the case because D'Lo, they need a more defensive-minded player, so that makes sense. Jaden McDaniels, if he's gonna continue to start, I would stream him for blocks. He could go off, but that's about it. Jared Vanderbilt, he had a game last week where he put up zeros across the stat sheet. Look at this game. 5 steals. Thank you, Harden. 9 rebounds and 2 assists. He's a must roster, right? There will be some games he doesn't do anything, but there will be games he plays like this. So still a must roster. Provide huge steals and rebounds and some field goal. Karl Anthony, what I'm talking about. Anthony Edwards had an injury at the end of the game. Grabbed just 1 rebound. That's bad. But 2 steals for 3, 25 points. Still pretty solid across the board. the counting stats are there. Then D'Lo 23, 10, and 5 with the D'Lo has been pretty solid, you know. On the season, yeah, he's the 57th ranked player, averaging 7.1 assists. That's really helping his value, and everything else is hitting 3 threes. That's also really good, but 41% from the field, he could improve on that, and 81.6% from the free throw line. That's actually maybe his best free throw season in a while now, even though it's very small sample size, because he's only attempting 3.5 free throws, and he's only played 36 games, so he's attempted 100 free throws. So if he's missed 2 or 3 more there, that's a 5% swing. Yeah. All right, let's go to the next game. Got a lot of games yesterday. My God. All right, 2 more games. Detroit versus Denver at Denver. They made it close, 6 points. And the news came out that Kelly Olynyk was placed into the safety protocol. He just came back from his injury, and then boom, immediately protocol. So if you already got him, I think let's just hold on to him. It's obviously not ideal, but we just hopefully he could come back, play 30 minutes, which I doubt he's going to. But if you already got him, you got an IR putting him in there. Hamidou Diallo, just 20 minutes. I don't know. Kelly Olynyk didn't play. Jeremy Grant's gonna be back, so let's move on from him. Let's drop him. Sadiq Bey struggled from the field again, but 3 threes, 7 rebounds, and a steal is not bad. 11 points, still a hold. Isaiah Stewart had a decent game, 18 points, just the 3 rebounds and no defensive stats, but 1 8 for 8. Denver just doesn't give you block shots a lot, so that's fine. He's still a pretty solid hold, and again committed 6 fouls in 26 minutes. If it wasn't for the foul trouble, he could have played 30 plus. Kate Cunningham, 18 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds. Turnovers and field goals are an issue for Kate, but 8 assists is really, really good. A steal and a block, 18 points. The peripheral stats are really solid. Corey Joseph started in place of Killian Hayes, although Killian Hayes came off the bench. Now those guys are must roster. But if you want some assists, you could stream Killian Hayes. He's going to give you a 4-5. You're not going to find assists on the waiver wire, but how much is he going to impact you? Because if, let's say he averaged 4-5 assists, but the other guys you have on your roster probably can't, or you stream quote unquote, can get you 2 assists. So it's 3 assists per game. So let's say they play 3 games, that's 9 assists. So 9 assists could be the difference a lot of the times. But if the other team's got it harder, it's just very hard to compete in assists, right? Steals, you always can. Steals, in most cases, you always can compete. Doesn't really matter who the other team is. You can always compete. It has a chance, I would say. All right, let's go to the next game. For the Denver Nuggets, Will Barton played well, but just to 27 minutes. I don't know why. 6 rebounds, 5 assists, solid enough. Eric Gordon, after hitting that game winner, this game pretty bad. 2 for 4, 13 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal. Not that bad, but just want to see him more. Getting more rebound at least. Jokic went off again. Yeah, this is why. If you got Curry, if you traded Curry for Jokic, great. By far in his own tier, number 1 ranked player in fantasy, and we see it. After scoring 50 points, he does this again. There's no flaw in his game. 9 for 10 from the free throw. I mean, although this year his free throw was a bit suspect, but I'm glad to see him hitting 90% in this game. And Monty Morris, 7 assists. Sure, you could have him for some assist, but this is the only thing he does. Not even huge volume either. I don't even think he averaged 5 assists this season. So, really suspect. If they got a good schedule, sure. Facu Campazzo is a guy you could stream for assists as well. Play 20 minutes. He's going to be up and down. Like, if they play a team like Rockets, he's going to play well and he's going to go off. When they play some inferior competition. Although they played Detroit this game. But he only got 20 minutes. But if they got 4 games, you want to win assists that week, you could pick him up. Hopefully, one game he go off, get 12 assists. Right? It's a possibility. It happens maybe once every 5 games. All right, let's talk about last game of the night. The Warriors. This one was a nail biter. They did it. They won by 2. The Jazz, they're still without Donovan Mitchell. So it looks like the concussion is pretty severe. He's been out for almost a week now. So some guys' concussion, they only out for one or 2 games. So we'll see. But I think he should be back this week. Donovan Mitchell. So with Donovan Mitchell out, you could stream Joe Ingles for some assists and threes. He had 5 here and 1 3. Sure. Mike Conley, I thought he's going to take a step forward with Donovan Mitchell out, but this is where he is at this point of his career. 9 points without Donovan, only took 10 shots, 2 steals. This was what Mike Conley give you. If you sold high on him early this season, sure. Like he had a couple games where he played well, but now it's just like, sure, the assist is valuable, but everything else is not really there. Royce O'Neal, nothing this game. Still a fine guy to stream if you want. And Rudy Gobert had an injury at the end of the game. We don't know how much time he's gonna miss, but if he does miss on time, Whiteside is a must roster. Hopefully he's okay. And Bogdanovic, 21 points, sure. Heyman, Jordan Clarkson is gonna carry the offensive load, but the Warriors, they're a good defensive team. So next game I could see Jordan Clarkson, and they also have a game Monday. So I could see Jordan Clarkson and Bogdanovic go off next game. I could see them do that. For the Golden State Warriors, well, Klay has got a left knee soreness. I don't know what they're gonna do with him. He already missed yesterday's game. If he continue to miss games, you could continue to have Jordan Poole. Every time he starts, he plays well. Like he plays well enough that he's worth a roster spot in 12-team leagues. Right? Hit 4 threes, 20 points, and a block. But if Klay is back, you could drop him. And just pick him up again whenever Klay misses time. Steph Curry, man, Curry 1 for 13, man. What is going on? He almost broke his own record. Well, not broke his own record for like games with consecutive threes made. He only made 1 3. He attempted 13 to get there. I don't know what's going on with Curry. Really struggling. They need Draymond Green back bad. Draymond is still like 2 weeks away, so they'll continue struggling in the next 2 weeks, I imagine. Kevon Looney played well. 6 rebounds. Well, sorry. He didn't play that well. 4 for 5, but it was against Rudy, so that's understandable. Still got 6 rebounds. That's fine. And he's a must roster with Draymond Green out. Otto Porter Jr. played well, though. Hit 3 threes, 8 rebounds, good efficiency, 3 steals and a block. He's also fine to have until Draymond comes back. Andrew Wiggins struggled. 2 steals and a block is nice. But, with Klay back, Wiggins has really taken a step back as well. Because all the guys, they really try to get Klay going whenever he's on the court. Even Curry, I think, is struggling. Also, at the same time, Draymond was also out. So I don't know if the struggle of Curry has anything to do with what. Or maybe he just keep missing shots. I don't know. And that's it for all the games, guys. I'll see you later.